This is Lola Lee T. I make a lot of videos about 90 Day Fiancé, so support me by purchasing a super thanks and also hit that like and subscribe button. Hey everybody, I'm gonna do a recap of 90 Day Fiancé UK Season 1, Episode 1. I downloaded the Discovery app just so that I could do the recaps for you guys. Also because I'm actually really bored with Season 9 of 90 Day Fiancé. And as you guys have probably noticed, I don't even do reviews of the show anymore or the recaps. Anyway, let's get into the recap and review. So we meet Shaun. He is 41 years old. He's from England. There is something seriously going on with Shaun. My heart actually goes out to him. And his parents did indicate that in the past, people have taken advantage of him. Shaun is a very, very lonely man. He is such a generous and kind-hearted man. Christina is 42. She is still married. She lives in the Philippines. And Shaun has been trying to help her financially to get an annulment. I guess in the Philippines, they don't do divorces. And I guess that's why it's so expensive. They do annulments. But how is it going to work if she is already married? How can she come to the UK for the purpose of getting married if she's already married? Would she have to get an annulment finalized first? Can somebody please tell me? And what is the name of the visa that he's bringing her to the UK on? So Shaun's parents are very concerned. Shaun's mother said to the camera, "Christine, if you mess with my son, hurt my son, I'm gonna hunt you down. And when I get you, you're gonna wish you have never been born." The parents said that Shaun has been very generous his whole life. Shaun is actually living on his own. He does some type of maintenance work. He has known Christine for 8 years. And on one of his vacations, he got her pregnant, allegedly, and he refuses to do a DNA test. He believes the child is his. Shaun sends Christine 400 pounds, and he is left with 60 pounds to live on. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. And he said he's been taking care of her and her entire family, and also her extended family. Christine has 4 kids on her own, plus Shaun's child. I just really feel that this man just wants to be loved. He has said he's very lonely. Yes, I mean, this man is painfully lonely, and it actually breaks my heart. So pretty much he sends practically all of his money to her, and he barely has anything to live on, practically has nothing left over for himself. And Shaun feels pretty grateful that a woman that looks like Christine would be attracted to somebody that looks like him. Now, let's talk about his baby for a minute. He doesn't want to do a DNA test, but something tells me that if it came up that he wasn't the father, I think he would still treat that child as if it were his own. And Christine is trying to come to the UK, but her visa applications keep getting denied due to missing paperwork. I think something was said about Shaun's financial statement was missing or something like that. So basically, the second visa gets approved. Their child also will be coming to the UK with Christine, and Shaun was moved to tears. But what is the plan with Christine, with bringing her other children over? How will Shaun support all of these people? And are we completely sure that she is done with her ex-husband? Christine, please do not hurt this man. Please do not break this man's heart. And spoiler alert, what Christine doesn't realize is that Shaun has a lot of credit card debt. And I'm sure that the hundreds of thousands of dollars that he has given Christine in the past was probably reflected on these credit cards. So let's move on to Kadie. She is a 26-year-old nurse from the UK. She's with Alejandro. Alejandro is a 30-year-old fitness instructor from Mexico. These two met online. Kadie lives with her grandmother. This couple really, really love their families. She is Kadie's best friend, and her grandmother and her are very, very close. Alejandro is also very close to his mom too. His mother was actually crying at the thought of her son moving to the UK. Alejandro is also very close to his mom, and his mom was actually crying at the thought of her son moving to the UK. So Alejandro's family want Kadie to move to Mexico. Alejandro flies to visit Kadie in the UK, and when they first met, they hugged, and it was such a sweet moment. I really think that Kadie is going to be a fan favorite. She is so sweet. She just comes across as such a real and genuine person. She tells us that she's been on a weight loss journey that she's been documenting on her Instagram. She has lost a ton of weight. She's feeling great about herself, and we can all see it in her TikTok videos that she makes. They are so inspirational to watch. I think we're all going to be rooting for this relationship to work out, and I think we're all going to be crying if it doesn't. So Kadie is worried that Alejandro may not be attracted to her when he meets her in person, even though she has been honest about her weight. So while in the UK, Alejandro struggles with the weather. He hates the cold. He doesn't like the UK. Kadie took Alejandro on a tour bus, probably on the coldest days ever. And I was thinking to myself, where is this man's hat? Where is his thick coat? Why did Kadie take Alejandro on this bus? Why did they go to the very top? This poor man was freezing. Why did she do him like that? Especially if she wanted to convince him to stay in the UK. And all I was thinking was, did he get frostbite? But as we all saw, he dealt with it because he genuinely loves this woman. When Kadie went to work, Alejandro was entertained by Kadie's wonderful grandmother. And the questions that her grandmother was asking Alejandro was some crazy questions. And the way that Alejandro was dealing with it was so sweet. He just kept smiling and laughing. I really feel that Kadie and Alejandro's relationship is genuine. They really love each other, but neither party want to move to each other's country. Kadie doesn't want to leave her grandma. And also, they looked at salaries of nurses in Mexico, and she's not going to be making very much money. Alejandro doesn't want to live in the UK because it's too cold, and he doesn't want to leave his family. I can't really see Kadie moving to Mexico unless her grandma comes with her. And the fact that she's not going to be paid very much, it really doesn't make sense for her to move there. And Alejandro being a fitness enthusiast, I mean, he can do that job anywhere. He can make good money in the UK. Now for Bridie and Host. Bridie is 31 and Host is 28. Host lives in Lebanon. Bridie lives in the UK. She has 2 kids, 2 cute, adorable little kids. So these two met online. They're both gamers and they met while playing video games. So Bridie thinks that Host is a hottie, and because of that, Bridie is very jealous. She knows that he gets a lot of female attention, but what is this man supposed to do? Host goes out with his friends and they talk about Bridie's jealousy and her coming to visit him. Bridie is on her way to visit Host in Lebanon. Apparently, it's easier for her to visit him than for him to visit her because of the paperwork and the visas and all that stuff. And her mom is very uneasy about the situation because of what's going on in Lebanon, among other things. So what happens at the airport? Well, Bridie misses not 1, but 2 flights, and Host was so patient with her. I mean, this is a good man. Host is a good man. Finally, she gets on the 3rd flight. She gets over there. Earlier in the day, Host was with his friend, and his friend was giving him some advice and telling him not to propose right away. Well, when Bridie arrived, she was expecting a proposal right away. Host instead gave her some gifts. He gave her some makeup. Well, now, a man has never given me makeup as a gift, And he might be the type of guy that likes a woman to wear makeup. And here you are with this good looking guy. He wants them to look like a power couple, of course. He wants them to look good together. And you know what? She did look good with the makeup. So he did a good job. He picked out some good makeup for her. But what I didn't like was that she asked Host's hairdresser friend about him. And I really feel that that put him in a really weird an awkward position. I just don't think that she should have asked him anything about Host. I don't think she should have asked a friend anything about Host. I feel that Host's friend should have had loyalty to him, but he ended up telling his business to her. Then when they were getting ready to go out, Bridie brings up that she asked his hairdresser friend some questions about him. And Host didn't like that. I mean, I don't really blame him for that. I don't blame him for getting upset because he's thinking, hey, you know, we've talked about this. We've squashed this. We're all good in this area. And like, why are you bringing this up now? We're supposed to be going out with friends. This is supposed to be a stress-free night. No drama. I mean, why are you bringing this up? So she overheard him making a reservation for 8 people. But what she was expecting was a intimate dinner with just the 2 of them. And the scene that I didn't really like was Host was in the car waiting for her to come downstairs. Apparently, she was supposed to be changing her pants, which should have taken a few minutes. And his friends were in the back of the car. And it took her forever to come downstairs. She was up there in the room. I mean, she didn't seem like she was in much of a hurry. She was doing this, she was doing that, she was talking on the phone. And then when she finally came downstairs, well, we could tell that Host was upset, but he was trying not to show it. And he seems like the kind of guy that likes to be on time. This is a guy that'll show up maybe 10, 15 minutes early. You know, he respects other people's time. He likes to be on time. He doesn't like to be late. He doesn't like to keep people waiting. And I just thought it was kind of rude the way that Bridie behaved in that situation. And maybe she was being a little passive aggressive because she didn't really want to go out with all these friends. She wanted just some one-on-one time with Host. She didn't want to be around all those people. But I really feel like Host wanted to show off his beautiful girlfriend to his friends and his family. So they finally get to the restaurant. She doesn't really seem into it. Okay, let's talk about Victoria and Shaun. Victoria is 34 years old. She lives in the UK and she's dating Shaun. They met online. She's into all things Japan, all things Japanese. And this is sounding like a fetish to me. She likes a certain look, she likes the way they look. She likes that certain look, I guess. She likes the way they dress. And the picture that was on Shaun's dating profile ended up being an older picture. So she was under the impression that he was younger than she thought. Shaun is saying that he's 42. How old do you guys think Shaun is? How old? 30s, 40s, 50s? How old do you guys think Shaun is? Be honest. So this couple, well, they're reminding me of Ella and Johnny. And remember how that worked out? So Shaun is from Japan. She dated Shaun for a year and didn't know his name wasn't actually Shaun. I mean, I don't understand why she would think that was his real name. I would think that he would have a Japanese name. After dating Shaun for close to 2 years, she doesn't really know anything about this guy. She doesn't know what he does for a living, if he has any kids, how much money he makes. She doesn't know if he's a serial killer. She doesn't know if he's been in jail, but she does know that he has a YouTube channel. And by the way, here is Shaun's YouTube channel. He has tons of views on YouTube, but he hasn't posted a video in 3 years. So how is he making money from YouTube if he hasn't posted in 3 years? So how is this guy making his money? She found out that he was married in Japan, but then he told her that he is no longer married in Japan. So does that mean he's married in another country? So then what country is he still married in? So I think with this guy, you have to ask direct, specific questions. So I wonder if he is a lawyer. Okay, so this is for Victoria. Ask him to see the divorce papers, then take the papers to a lawyer and have them look them over. That's what I would do. But Victoria did say she was really into Japanese culture. So I'm wondering if she ignored all of these other things just because she wanted to be with a Japanese man. She didn't care how old he was. She didn't care what he did for a living. I really think that all she cares about is that he is Japanese. Could that be the reason? Am I being too harsh? Possibly, maybe. I mean, that's how it's coming across to me. So as we've gathered, Victoria knows nothing about Shaun. I don't know. I really feel like something is up with Victoria. Things are not adding up. It doesn't make sense what she's telling us. I mean, could you guys date someone for so long and not know anything about them? And then she did say that Shaun is not lying to her because she is not asking the right questions. So here are some questions to ask Shaun. Shaun, what do you do for a living? How much do you make per month on YouTube? How much money do you make per year in your regular job? What is your job title? What is the name on your birth certificate? How many times have you been married? Are you currently married in any country? Do you have any children? Do you have any financial debt? I think that would be a good start. And did you guys notice that production asked Shaun what he did for a living and he didn't want to answer? So Victoria, I think you're asking all the right questions. I just think that Shaun doesn't want to answer the questions for whatever reasons, which is a huge red flag that I'm waving. Shaun, why are you playing with Victoria? But Victoria seems like she likes it because she is talking about it and she is laughing about it. So that is a recap. That was 90 Day Fiance UK Season 1, Episode 1. It's on the Discovery Plus app. I'm going to be doing weekly recaps, so be sure to tune in weekly. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And if you have any hot tea for me, please message me on Instagram. I love you guys. Bye.